Nearly 17 hours ago, Taylor Wenskowski netted her third goal of the game for not only her first career hat trick as a Wildcat, but also to tie up the first game between the Wildcats and BU Terriers. And here we are at the Whittemore Center for game 2 of a back-to-back between UNH and Boston University. Sam Rogers and Tim Knightley here giving you the call high above the ice across from the UNH bench. And it's senior day, Tim, so it's going to be a pretty emotional day, not only for the seniors, but for the team as a whole. And before we talk about that, 2 p.m. start time. And before we get into the keys, I kind of wanted to hear your opinion on an afternoon start, if that's going to affect the first couple minutes of this game as we get a false start here on the first face-off.
Yeah, well, like you said, Sam, it's senior day, a day full of emotions. But I don't think the 2 p.m. start time should change too much. They played last night. But, as a hockey player, I think if you get up for these big games on a Sunday matinee game to kind of end your weekend, I'm sure all these players are ready to go and ready to come out for a win here on senior day.
And the Wildcats take control of the opening face-off. These two teams, like we mentioned, squared off last night down in Boston, skated to a 3-3 tie, marking a good point earned by the Wildcats. Boston University ranked 7th in the country right now. And the tie helps stop a 2-game losing streak for UNH as Jenna Rowe tried to get a shot on that, but that went off a shin pad.
And Sam, I think that this 2 p.m. start time actually benefits the Wildcats here. You mentioned yesterday that they were down in Boston and had a great comeback to tie the game up at 3, thanks to parts of Taylor Wenskowski. But they kind of had to ride that wave that they had. They had a ton of momentum at the end of that game. Early start time here today, and they just need to kind of pick up where they left off yesterday.
Taylor Wenskowski and her line mates taking their first shift of the game as the Terriers bring it back the other way. Kira Smith seeing her first action of the game as Boston Terrier ends up in the crease.
And Kaylee Donnelly just found that puck right there between the hash marks in front of the net. Kira Smith was sliding over from her left to her right. Wasn't able to really see where the puck was, but was able to catch it in a 5-hole before letting it slip through.
BU now wins a face-off as the Terriers trying to start their offensive attack. BU averaging just over 3 goals a game. High-powered offense led by Sammy Davis and Jesse Kompfer. 2 forwards on their top line. Here's Paige Rin just chipping it down low, forcing the Terriers to retreat behind their net. Here's Abby Stanley now.
And a big key for the Wildcats here today is going to be their senior goaltender, Kira Smith. The senior out of Colorado has been that backbone for this team all year. Sam, as last semester I was covering this women's hockey team for the newspaper, and head coach Hillary Witt said that Kira Smith is the backbone of this defense, and this team's going to go as far as Smith takes them. The senior captain's going to have to step up big here as we head into Hockey East playoffs.
Both teams still using these first couple minutes to feel each other out, despite them playing, like we mentioned last night. No true scoring opportunity yet as the Terriers trying to work it in the neutral zone, but Carly Turner moves up the puck and the Wildcats get a change.
And Carly Turner starting this shift off with a ton of speed there. She caught that puck in center ice, was able to reel it up, get the puck deep, and start the forecheck for the Wildcats.
Here come the Terriers as Desiree D'Souza working 1-on-3. She falls down hard into the boards, loses the idea of the puck. Wildcats able to slowly break it out of their zone. And here's Turner, again struggling to get it deep, but Devin Taylor now works on the left side, trying to fire a backhand in front to McManus. Paddled away there by Corinne Schroeder, the starting goaltender for the red and white. BU, like we mentioned, in their away red, moving from right to left. UNH in their home whites, moving from left to right.
That was a great first shift there from Carly Turner, Sam. Getting the pucks deep, great back check to force the turnover. Just a ton of speed out there on the first shift of the game.
Jenna Rowe doing what she normally likes to do as a defenseman, bringing up the puck herself. She tried to fire it on net, but elects to wrap it around the boards. And Wenskowski flying in, wins the forecheck battle, try to step right around the BU defense. She's able to lose it. Good hold there by Julie Scammell. Bouncing puck, weird hop there, but Schroeder is able to handle it. The sophomore from Elm Creek, Manitoba. Able to slow. The UNH band is back. You can hear the Wildcat Band, the Beast of the East student pep band, giving this hometown team and this home crowd some energy throughout the afternoon.
Not a bad crowd for a Sunday afternoon game.
Well, Sunday matinee, why not? Good play there by Emily Rickwood to come in and disrupt the BU breakout. Abby Chapman fires it into the far corner. But BU is able to clear the zone, and here is Nicole Dunbar with a head of steam. She's going to take it behind her own circle and flicks it up.
It's a great chip off the glass there.
Now here's Abby Chapman working, lose the puck in the slot. Good play there by Dunbar to get everything started. Just a bouncing puck and Chapman unable to handle it. Grace Middleton now fires it over cross ice. Wildcats able to get a change. BU now has some settled opportunity to clear the puck, but they are unable to be successful. McManus and Taylor firing some pressure. Good play there by Tori Howard to come up and handle the line. Accidental trip, no call, as Caldrone went down to the ice. Good early offensive pressure by the Wildcats. One shot to one shot. 5 minutes into this first period. Both teams still, like we mentioned, yet to have a quality scoring opportunity. Howard fires it up to Wenskowski. Wenskowski loses it or skates for a brief second, but McManus is able to backhand the puck deep, and the Wildcats will get a fresh change.
And UNH has a great system going right now, Sam, to start off this game. They're getting pucks deep, they're getting line changes, getting fresh new players out there, 45 seconds to a minute shifts, and they're getting off the ice, and they're controlling this game so far. We'd like to see them get a couple more shots on net with the amount of chances that they have and the amount of time possession that they've been controlling so far, but a great start so far for the Wildcats.
Like we mentioned pre-game, BU averaging 3.32 goals a game, the Wildcats averaging 2.2. So you got to expect a high-scoring affair here this afternoon. Boston University sent to travel all the way back down their own end. Scarpacci loses the puck for a brief second, moves it up to D'Souza. D'Souza loses a great play there by Nicole Dunbar. That's got to be at least the fourth or fifth takeaway by a Wildcat forward, just aggressively back-checking. Delayed offside is the call, which will bring the face-off into the neutral zone, right in front of the BU bench.
And right now it's a mixture of the UNH defense doing a great job of controlling their gaps. They're holding their ground on that blue line and forcing turnovers, and they're getting help from their forwards who are doing a great job of back-checking and creating the Boston Terriers to turn the puck over.
Here is Tori Howard gaining the red line. She fires it deep, and that's going to force Schroeder to come out of the net to stop the puck. A little D-to-D miscommunication as that puck actually redirected off the back of the net. And here come the Terriers in a 2-on-2 opportunity. Comfy now takes a shot, and Kira Smith is able to use that glove to corral it into her chest. And Tim, as we wait for this face-off to the glove side of Smith, what are the keys to the game, both for UNH and BU?
I think UNH has to rely on their top scorer, Taylor Wenskowski. She had a great game yesterday, like you said, had her first career hat trick and had that game-tying goal late in the game to give the Wildcats a tie. I think she's going to have to control this game on the offensive side. And what we've seen here in the first 5 minutes of the game is UNH has been getting puck deep, and I think that's going to be a big key for their offense today if they want to get more scoring opportunities, is getting puck deep, establishing pressure on these Terriers defensemen, and creating chances from there. And then on the other end, senior goaltender Kira Smith's going to have to, been doing what she's been doing all year, and that's keeping this team in games and just allowing them to stick around enough to get their own scoring opportunities. As for the Terriers, I think that what they have to kind of do is get back to what they were doing yesterday before they allowed UNH back in this game. I think in order for the Terriers to get a win here today, they're going to have to kind of control the momentum and not allow UNH to kind of ride off this wave that they've been riding on the past 24 hours.
As Tim was talking about the Wildcat forwards causing turnovers, McGarry McManus had 2 turnovers, causing just like that a third one, really forcing this Terrier defense to make a lot of mistakes in their own end early on in this game. Here's Rickwood with a head of steam, moving on the left side of the ice, hesitates and crosses the red line where once again they'll dump and change.
And Ellie Sasaki with a great play there behind the net, able to pick the pocket of the Terrier defenseman and was able to turn around behind the net for a quick shot on net.
Pretty obvious to tell these Wildcats are very hungry on their forechecking. Good one-touch pass to Wenskowski. She's able to cross the line as Piedrin exited the offensive zone. Bouncing puck, Lauren Martin found the puck on her stick in front of the net. She was unable to get a full-strength shot on. And once again, here we go. The Wildcats on a break-in. Wenskowski fans on her shot from the slot, but Rin is there to work it deep. Rin and Schuler tangled up as Wenskowski joins the action. Jenna Rose steps in, but that puck is able to squirt by, forcing Carly Turner to make a pass right in front of the net, which is a big no-no in the hockey world for a reason just like that, as BU gains the puck, but they lose it to Devin Taylor, who crosses the blue line, heavily pursued by Comfy.
The Wildcats are doing a great job in their transition game so far early on here in this game. They're getting pucks up to their wingers on the sides there, and they're moving the pucks up the ice quickly. Not too many passes, just one pass, and away they go.
Bad pass by the Terriers, forcing them to retreat of the offensive zone, or else it would be offsides. Julie Scammel's unable to let that puck cross the goal line for an icing. So that forces the Wildcats to bring it up, but a bad turnover again. Good poke check there by the captain, Marie-Jo Pelletier, to avoid any crazy mistakes from happening.
Julia Scammell there with a bad turnover in her own zone, throwing the puck towards the middle of the net, which, Rogers, you know, playing this game, can never have a good outcome with throwing pucks up the middle. And a great pass there.
Abby Chapman here, trying to find Grace Middleton with a backhand, trying to sneak it in 5-hole. First quality scoring chance for the Wildcats all game. Here's Dunbar now in the slot, trying to fire that to the blocker side. Pelletier sends one in front, that's blocked. Smart play there just to send it in deep, forcing the Wildcats to change. BU sending a winger. Courtney Correa was flying to the far blue line, trying to get a stretch pass for a breakaway. Understood that the Wildcats were changing, but she's the one who taps it in to get BU a change of their own. As Tori Howard comes the other way, just under 10 minutes left in the first period. And this first period is flying by. What a great pace of hockey.
A ton of action so far. Both teams getting pucks in deep and establishing scoring opportunities for themselves.
Truax used the backhand to go to D to Howard. Howard gains the blue line and sends it deep. Here's Caldrone. Goes D to her partner. Wenskowski collects the puck, backhand sauces it over to McManus. Looks like it's going to be a 2-on-2. McManus takes it wide, makes a hockey spin back, and sends it low for Wenskowski, who gets hit into the boards, and the referee's hand comes up. Wildcats have a delayed penalty. Free possession here. All BU needs to do is touch the puck, but the Wildcats able to get a sixth attacker on for just a brief opportunity. Free possession, if you will. Wenskowski trying to fire in front, no one home, but now we have our first power play opportunity. As Wenskowski, she's definitely going to get a lot of attention, having those 3 goals against this team last night. And she draws the boarding call. So 2 minutes here with 8:55 left in the first period, and the Wildcats go 5-on-4.
And a great play there, and a great shift overall by Taylor Wenskowski. The thing that makes her so special, Rogers, the way she's able to turn up ice. She picks her head up and is able to make that first pass or keep it herself. And then there behind the net, she's able to do a great job at turning her body and able to force the penalty.
Rickwood fired that well over the crossbar. Good play there by Jenna Rowe to keep it in. She sends it deep. Terriers again unable to clear the zone as Rowe takes it behind the net. Surveying the field, or the ice, excuse me. Wildcats look like they are in an overload set, forcing one side of the ice. Little cat and mouse with Rowe and Rickwood up top. We get a load of Turner. Puck still in front. Nearly had a backdoor goal if Jenna Rowe was in the right place. McManus now using great body position. Gets it over to Dunbar. Bouncing puck in front goes right over Carly Turner's stick. She goes indirectly up to Rickwood. Rickwood, nice little spin move. Gets it over to Rowe. Rowe fires a slap shot, that goes wide. Paddled away there by Schroeder. 1 minute left in this Wildcat power play. Absolutely dominating possession so far in this game. Not only just this extra man opportunity, as Sammy Davis trying to just get it deep so they can get fresh legs, and they finally do. Wildcats all over the Terriers in this extra man opportunity. Here is Wenskowski with a head of steam. Fires it indirectly where Tori Howren will come down from the point. Howren loses it in the corner, and the Terriers are able to clear it. UNH will keep this same power play unit as the Terriers trade 3 skaters. 20 seconds left on the first power play, 7:12 left in the first period. Shots 6-2 in favor of the home team. UNH definitely having more quality scoring chances as Howren try to fire a shot on that. That goes right into the stick of Scarpacci.
And Sam, early on in this power play, the Wildcats are doing a great job of setting up their unit and making plays from there, but in the second half of this power play, just trying to do too much.
2-on-1 as time expires on the power play. 2-on-1 for the Terriers as Natasja Tarnowski gets the goal started. Beautiful backhand pass by Schuler, and that's going to give the Terriers a 1-0 lead with 6:50 left in the first period. And we were just talking about how much UNH was dominating the pace of play and possession, and all it takes is one uneven opportunity, and you're going to find yourself a goal.
And a bad turnover there in middle ice for the Wildcats, but great play by Tarnowski, putting her head down, driving hard to the net. When you go hard to the net like that, good things are going to happen. She just put her stick down, and she was able to put it home.
The junior from Ontario gets the scoring started here on a Sunday afternoon in Durham. Now the most important shifts after a goal are the next ones for both sides is Grace Middleton. Takes it into the corner. Defenseman there, Abby Cook, trying to work it up the boards. Truax now walks the line, fires a snapshot that's blockered away by Schroeder. Abby Chapman has plenty of time on the far wall. Loses the puck and is sent down. Truax once again hesitates and just sends it deep. Nicole Dunbar was sent to the ice by Cook as BU can collect it. Fire a pass up the middle. And now Woolrich just gonna elect to send it deep. Scammell trying to stretch the ice to find Taylor, who was jumping off the bench, but that pass was intercepted. Scammell leaves it off.
Great reverse there from Scammell.
For Truax, but again, a bad turnover in front of UNH's net. Sammy Davis and this top line taking control. First time they've really had offensive possession all day. This top scoring line for this Terrier team, ranked 7th in the nation and 3rd in the Hockey East standings. Jesse Comfer and Davis battling with Scammell and Truax. Some bodies hit the floor, and the puck breaks free as Carly Turner fires it up to the point, but that's kept in. Good poke check there, but the puck goes right to the point, and Kira Smith is able to get a glove on it. Loose puck, Davis with Kira Smith completely out of position. She gets right back and makes a couple big saves for this Wildcat team as Sammy Davis, a talented goal scorer, had a pretty good opportunity with Smith out of the net. She makes the initial glove save, puck's bouncing around, and Davis just unable to lift it and get it far side. Good back-to-back, bounce-back saves on Kira Smith.
And Kira Smith there just absolutely bailing out the extra defenseman, Maddie Truax. Truax was in front of the net there, made a great poke check, but after that turned the puck over, and Kira Smith was able to make the stop.
D'Souza just had another great opportunity. Got a nice pass backdoor, but unable to capitalize. Wenskowski fires it up to Wren, who gets it over to Lauren Martin. Martin gets some good back check by D'Souza. A lot of bodies hitting the ice early on in this first period, whether it's incidental contact or not. Speak of the devil, we have 3 bodies just fall there as Wenskowski tried to get it across the line, and Paige Wren was slow to get up, and she causes the offsides with 3:55 left. UNH still leading the shot total 7-5, but obviously the Terriers hold the lead in the most important statistical category in hockey, and that's the scoreboard. 1-0 BU.
And it's important for the Wildcats to keep doing what they're doing. They've played well this first period. They've got a ton of shots on net and have done a great job of creating pressure down low and establishing a forecheck. Unfortunate that they weren't able to get that first goal. They just got to kind of keep at it at this point in the game.
Susaki gets the puck deep, but the Terriers are able to get a breakout, but Peltier stops it briefly for a moment, but the Terriers' offensive attack continues. Susaki now over to Martin, or to Abby Chapman, excuse me. Tori Howard fires a slap shot. That goes over the net. Scared a young fan sitting right behind the back of Corinne Schroeder.
I'd like to see UNH get some of these shots, lower off the ice, 6 inches off the ice, Sam. A lot of these shots up top, goalies are able to see them, or they're going to fly over the net. So if they want to create some rebounds, try to keep these shots lower on the ice.
Carly Turner just a little too quick for that play, but like we mentioned before the puck drop, it is senior day here in Durham. Devin Taylor, Marie-Jo Peltier, Kira Smith, Angelica Peltier, and Jenna Rowe, the seniors for this Wildcat team. And of course, we can't forget our good friend, senior student manager, Dana Valetti, who was honored pregame. Here come the Terriers going D to D. Galway now has it. She gets the puck up to Davis, and here comes Davis. Working one-on-one with Jenna Rowe. She cuts back to the front and back to the outside, gets a shot on net, but that's stopped by Kira Smith. Rowe tried to fire a backhand up the boards, and Kira Smith elects to take the faceoff with 2:34 left in this opening frame.
And a great play there by Jenna Rowe, the senior defenseman, keeping her gap control, keeping the Boston Terrier offenseman in front of her, and allowing her goaltender to see the shot.
Face-off won by the Wildcats, but will be possessed by the Terriers. Tally Warren doing battle with D'Souza. Cats able to break it up. No icing on the call, a couple deflections. So Paige Ridd's going to come in full head of steam to forecheck. And she collects the puck, tries to fire it low, but that went off a few sticks, and now the Terriers are able to work their way, but D'Souza gives up on the forecheck, allowing the Wildcats to have a pretty easy transitional breakout.
And a great find there to find Chapman coming off the bench on an exchange there, and she had a great opportunity.
Woolrich got it deep, and they're going to call offsides, I believe. Well, it's going to bring the puck out to the neutral zone. Head coach for the Wildcats, Hillary Witt, 158, 221, and 41 as an overall head coach, 62, 95, and 18 at the University of New Hampshire. And Brian DeRocher, the head coach for the Terriers in his 14th season, a BU grad, graduated in 1978, has his Terrier team in a pretty good position, not only in today's contest, but for the Hockey East playoffs, and we will definitely get into some playoff talk as this game goes on. Just a handful of games remaining in the 2018-2019 Women's Hockey East season. Shot gets deflected. Good save there by Smith as we near in on the final minute of play in this first period between the Wildcats and Terriers at the Whittemore Center. Dunbar sends it off of the boards, and she's going to go in alone, lone forechecker.
And a nice shifty move from Dunbar to create space for herself and able to get that puck deep.
She's able to force a full line change and force the Terriers behind their own net, so good individual effort by number 4 in white. The Terriers now with 40 seconds left, trying to get one more opportunity to make this a 2-goal lead heading into the dressing room. Jenna Rowe and the Wildcats looking to get one final possession and try to notch it.
Nice drop pass there from Carly Turner, who's had a great first period.
Carly Turner and Devin Taylor working a little two-man game as their third partner, McManus, gets it up to Scammell. That shot is blocked off the shin pad of Sammy Davis. Jenna Rowe gets it deep, and now with 12 seconds left, BU's looking to run out the clock. Can the Wildcats try to get one more shot on net? Sammy Davis now with 3 seconds. She gains the blue line. Looks like she's unable to know how much time is on the clock, and oh boy, that could have been a disastrous end to the period for the Wildcats as Sammy Davis, as we watched the replay before the end of the period, looks like she really didn't know how much time was left on the clock. Her teammates told her to fire it on net. Good initial save, but that actually went off of a shin pad and then off of the post. So we could be looking at a 2-0 hockey game if Sammy Davis had a better idea on the clock. But after one period, it's 1-0 the Terriers over the home Wildcats. And in 15 minutes, Sam Rogers and Tim Knightley will bring you second period action here at the Whittemore Center.
Liftoff of the Atlas V with MMS.
It becomes a lifestyle, you know, running it's never off. Like, we're always in season and it's just what we do, it's what we love to do.
One of her biggest gifts is she doesn't think she's above or beyond the program. She's very attached to everybody in the program. She knows she can win races, but she's very grounded and down to earth, and I think that serves her very well.
You know, in high school I just was good, but it wasn't until college that I really realized how much I loved the sport and I love training and competing.
I certainly didn't think she'd be a 10-time All-American and a national champion. I mean, not many people achieve that.
So I ran the mile at the national championships in Texas, A&M.
I think she is the favorite by far.
Going into the race, I really wanted it this year, and so I knew that I had the speed and I believed in myself. So I took it from the start, and I just pushed the pace the whole race.
As we come to the bell, it's still Courier Harris.
So it was neck and neck going down the straightaway, you know.
More than 50 meters remaining. Can Courier hold her off?
And it was an exact replay of my race last year, except last year I did not win.
Trying for her last time to get the title, and she does.
I really wasn't even sure when I crossed the line if I had won. We both looked up at the board and my name was first, and I was just, I mean, there's no better feeling. That was my 4th time running the mile at Nationals, so I did it, and I finally did it, and I was proud. You know, UNH is a smaller school as compared to some of the schools that I compete against and some of the names that I'm competing against, but I'm proud to wear the uniform, and you know, I couldn't be more proud of the Wildcat family. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without my teammates. They push me every day, and you know, we do it for each other too. It's not just for me. Hop's very flexible, and he always is saying that academics come first. He does give us the opportunity to go to morning practice or afternoon practice any day of the week, whatever works better for us. Last year I was the Scholar Athlete of the Year for the America East Conference, and that was honestly just a huge honor to be just recognized for my athletic performances and in the classroom. So nutrition, I think, goes hand in hand with running, and I think that both my degree and running complement each other. I feel like I'm constantly thinking about what I'm eating and how it's going to help me perform better. UNH has changed me in a few ways. I'd say that, you know, it's given me my education, but it's allowed me to grow. And it's, you know, given me new perspectives and given me more of a global outlook on the world. And I've honestly made the best friends of my life here at UNH.
I think, you know, as I say often, you know, our programs are part of the fabric of the Seacoast. So for us to get out here, have the opportunity to see so many kids out here smiling and having fun, and then our guys having a great time too, and the women having a great time, I think it's awesome. You know, one of the staples, I think, of UNH athletics is the opportunity that our kids, our athletes have to get out into the community, especially with a lot of the young kids in the Seacoast area. It's not only awesome for the young kids that get to meet our athletes, whether it's the hockey players, the football players, whatever it is. It's also rewarding for our athletes to experience that and to see the people that come out and cheer them on. So I think it's incredibly rewarding, and it's incredibly vital to what we do as an athletics program, not just as a hockey program.
It's just fun to see, for the community, to see our kids in the community, because they care so much about people, and sometimes they just see them behind a mask, and it's good to see their faces and to see their personalities and to see the character they have. It's been a few years they've had it now, and it's nice to be outside New England playing hockey or skating. It's what it's supposed to be like. You know, it all started on ponds and outdoors, and here we are.
We're here at Puddle Duck Pond, just coming out here, supporting the community, skating with little kids. It's a great day outside. We do it usually every year. It's just kind of giving back to the community. You know, just it's like back to the traditional hockey, like outdoors, skating with the kids. Like every kid comes out here, starts like skating around. It's really fun for us to just be outside. Nice weather out today, and just all about giving back to the community. Just, they look up to us, and being able to be on the same ice surface as us, it's pretty special to them, and you know, it's pretty fun for us to be outside and just give back. So.
I think it sends a good message to everyone, just to get people out to the games to watch us and hopefully connect with the kids a little bit, just have that personal connection, because I know a lot of kids look up to my teammates and I, so it's just a great opportunity for us.
My name is Mia Holm, and I grew up a dancer, but I was always injured, so I went to physical therapy a lot, and I ended up realizing that I really like the human connection as well as the health field part of it. So my major is athletic training, and then in the future I'm going to go to grad school to get my doctorate in physical therapy. I do think that athletic training gives a really good base for physical therapy because it's very hands-on. Everything that you learn in class, you apply it to the clinical setting. So when I get to the field house, I feel more knowledgeable every single day that I go there. So this fall I've been working with men's soccer. Depending on which sport you are paired with, your time spent at clinical will be anywhere between 4 hours a day to even like 8 hours a day. Then outside of clinical and outside of classes, I'm always studying. I'm always doing extra work for homework. So being an athletic training major can be very stressful and time-consuming, but I find this major super rewarding. I guess my favorite experience overall is just all of my clinical settings. I've learned so much with each, and all of the new relationships I gain is really amazing. Being able to communicate with all of the athletes, with all of the athletic trainers, I feel that being hands-on now, it's going to help me to get a jump start on my career path in the future, and I feel like I'm going to have a very good foundation before going into PT school.
Natasha Tarnowski got the scoring started here in a Sunday matinee at the Whittemore Center between the Wildcats and the Terriers of Boston University. BU up 1-0 through the first 20 minutes. Sam Rogers, Tim Knightley giving you the call. We're going to do something a little different, as now we're going to pass over the reins as Tim. Play-by-play is yours.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And we'll have the Wildcats in their home whites coming from right to left. The Boston Terriers in their away reds coming left to right. The Boston Terriers got the scoring started in the first. The Wildcats had a great first period, starting with a lot of pressure. Weren't able to get any scoring opportunities, but we'll see what happens here in the second. As Carly Turner comes up the right circle. Shots on net. Save. Boston University bringing out their own zone. Scuffle here in front of the Boston Terriers bench as number 16, Sammy Davis, brings it up the right side. Wildcats moving out of their own zone and bringing in the Boston Terriers zone. Shot on net, save by number 30, Corrine Schroeder, as we get a whistle here.
Yeah, Tim, I mean, you brought up the fact that the Wildcats had a good first period, but obviously, not on the score sheet. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what head coach Hillary Witt did say in the locker room to this team, because they did have a ton of scoring opportunities. Their forwards had some great forechecking takeaways and turnovers, just unable to execute.
As UNH wins the draw. On the ice for the UNH Wildcats, number 12, Taylor Wenskowski. In the middle, number 10, Lauren Martin. And on the right wing, number 9, Paige Wynn. Boston Terriers go D to D. And they move that up to the captain, number 13, Natasha Tarnowski, the lone goal scorer of this game so far. Martin up to Wenskowski. She'll fire it into the Boston Terriers zone as the UNH will go for another line change. Big line down to the left corner. And Mary Grace Kelly will bring it out of the Terrier zone. She moves up ice. She'll move it in deep into the Wildcats territory. Emily Rickwood. She'll lose that. Rickwood behind her own net. She'll move up ice. Looks for the center, and she finds Chapman. Chapman on a semi-breakaway there, but doesn't have enough speed to get alone as she gets bodied down here in the left corner. Abby Cook brings it up. Cook up at the point. Shot on net. That will go wide right. Rickwood moves it up the right side. Rickwood crosses mid-ice. Over the blue line. Slap shot. Over the net. And hits the glass. And Sam, what do you think the keys are for the Wildcats here in the second period, just to kind of, get this game tied up?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that it's just execute, and they have everything going for them. They have the pressure, they have the momentum. Despite being down 1-0, you can definitely tell that they have a lot more energy than this visiting Boston University team. And I think that last night, them having that that game-tying goal with less than 30 seconds left really can help motivate a team, especially, with that bus ride back, sleeping on it before this game tonight. So I think they just have to go out and execute, because everything else is coming up their way. They're leading the shot totals. They're getting better scoring opportunities. I mean, BU's goal came seconds after a Wildcat power play, and it was just a great 2-on-1 converted by the Terriers, and that's what this UNH team needs to do, is when they get in those scoring opportunities, they need to convert, they need to execute.
And UNH loses the draw here on the left face-off dot, but stay in the Terrier zone as UNH goes for a forecheck. Number 24, Megara McManus brings it up. McManus, forechecks. And a great stop there by number 17, Devin Taylor. Taylor in front. Shot. Wraparound save. And that shot will be blocked by the Terriers. Throws it in front of the crease. Unable to get a shot on net once again, though. Kept in by Marie-Jo Peltier. And Witkowski will regroup. D.
So another key of the game that I have is someone other than Taylor Witkowski needs to score. She had all 3 goals last night, getting a lot of pressure so far tonight, but this Wildcat team wants to skate away from a win here on Senior Day. Somebody besides number 12 is going to have to put the puck in the back of the net.
Yep, and we'll get a whistle here for a hand pass, and the face-off will be in the Boston Terrier zone.
Tim, I remember before the game we were kind of looking at these teams warming up, and we obviously have a good eye for hockey equipment. A couple ladies here on the BU team with some Bauer 4500 helmets, which I thought they stopped making years ago.
You thought they'd be banned at this point with all the concussions that people have been getting and wearing them, but they still got that style.
Still look really good.
And that shot will be saved by Schroeder.
Although I did say that, someone other than Witkowski is going to have to score. This line of Rynn, Witkowski, and Marin is a perfect combination of different abilities. Witkowski can kind of do it all. She has great speed, always finds the puck on her stick in the slot, has a really good knack for scoring goals, and Paige Rynn, kind of like your grinder to have on the line, and then Lauren Martin, number 10 in white, is just able to do everything, has some great speed as that center.
And that line is paired up with the defensive pair of Tori Howren and Mary Jo Peltier. And that shot deflected, but Kira Smith is able to get a glove on it before it goes in. Pretty interesting deflection here, as it looked like, as we watched the replay, it looked like it went off a Wildcat skate. Yep, Witkowski, like it was off of Witkowski. Witkowski was trying to use that left skate to kick it away from Kira Smith, but it's such a weird deflection. She almost kicked that right into the back of her own net. Overhead view here. Wow, deflects it right into Smith's. Fortunate enough that did not lead a goal, because that's just another example of this Wildcat team kind of bailing out BU. If that did go in, but luckily it did not. And UNH will bring it out of their own zone. In comes Tori Howren, the defenseman. Loves to join the rush. And Boston University have a 2-on-1 here. Pass over, shot, scores! Number 11, McKenna Parker on the 2-on-1 capitalizes and gives the Boston University Terriers a 2-0 lead midway through the second period. Beautiful 2-on-1 here. As we watch the replay, Comfort just holds, finally gets that pass over to Parker, and Parker just fires it top shelf. She really just made the defenseman approach her, which gives Parker, the entire net, and Kira Smith slow to get over. She fired that back across side on the blocker's shoulder. That's 2-on-1 opportunities for BU, and that's just another example of them executing and converting when they get those quality scoring opportunities. 2 for 2 on quality scoring chances for the Terriers team. Tornowski battles it on the right side, and she'll flip it out of her own zone. Comes back Emily Rickwood, flips it up, and kept in by Tornowski. And here comes Carly Turner. She's going to be on a breakaway. Shoots, save by Schroeder. A great opportunity there from Carly Turner. Tornowski brings it up to right side, and she'll get deep and get a change in for the Boston Terriers. BU will dump it in the zone again, and out comes back Warren. Warren in the corner, flips it up to Witkowski. Witkowski unable to make a play. Witkowski and Warren will battle on the blue line here, and BU will send it back down in again. Scammell wheels. She flips it out. Calderon. Over to Scarpacci. Here comes Witkowski, breaks to the middle, shot, deflected, unable to get it on net. Again. Scammell dumps it in. Schroeder will kick that away. Kelly on the right side here. She's unable to control it.
Got to expect this UNH team to start, taking more chances, down 2-0 and 12 minutes left, essentially halfway through this game. A lot of times we're seeing this Wildcat defensive crew just really backing up off the blue line and letting the Terriers, not only break it out, but if any loose puck, squirts its way out to the blue line, it's going to clear. But you got to expect that this defensive unit to be more aggressive, to get those pinches in. And if that defenseman, if you see, as a forward, if you see a defenseman pinch, you have to cover that responsibility. And that's kind of the issue when that defenseman does decide to get aggressive and try to make a play, because you get the result of an uneven opportunity. And like we've seen so far tonight, BU is capitalizing on every single shorthanded chance that they get. Looking at the replay as the Wildcats it's just not there yet. Everything is getting, everything's going the way that is expected, but as soon as it gets to the point where they need to finally get a quality scoring opportunity, they just can't convert.
Kira Smith there saw a funky shot as she's able to stop it with her left shoulder. Didn't look like she really saw the shot, but is able to force another whistle, as we'll have a face-off in the UNH zone. Carly Turner takes the draw against Christina Scholler.
And they're going to call a penalty on that.
And we'll get another UNH power play.
Well, if there's ever a time to get your way back into this game, it's right now here on the power play. Great first power play opportunity for the Wildcats. Really possessed it in for the first minute plus of that shift. And then we know right after those 2 minutes expired, the Terriers were able to come down on a 2-on-1 and convert. But right now, this Wildcat power play unit is pretty lethal, especially with 12 Taylor Wenskowski. And these defensemen love to get their shots on the net. So it's going to be a big 2 minutes for both sides.
And a great win there by Lauren Martin to get the attack going here for UNH. Martin on the left side, crosses over, trying to find Tori Howren, sneaking down on the right side there, but was unable to get a stick on it. As Mary Jo Peltier will come back in her own zone behind the net. She'll wheel up to the right side. Over to Rin. Rin in the middle to Martin. Martin unable to get it deep in the zone. Here comes the captain, Tarnowski. Tarnowski would dump it in behind the UNH goal. Peltier brings it up the left side. Peltier up to Martin. Martin unable to receive a pass again as the puck will go back down to the UNH zone. Howren brings it up the right side. She'll leave it for Peltier. Peltier brings it up the ice. Peltier crosses mid-ice and she'll dump it in. UNH will go for a line change. Rickwood, left point. Rickwood over to Rowe. Rowe will keep it in on the right point. Rowe throws it back down to McManus. McManus battles in the corner. McManus gives it off to Taylor. Taylor in front. Looks like it could have been a penalty called there from checking from behind, but the Terriers will escape. Rowe wheels up the right side. Rowe crosses mid-ice and she'll keep it herself. Rowe throws it on net. And save by Schroeder. A great shift there from Rowe.
Yeah, a couple good opportunities. It started with that cross-ice pass right off the face-off, but looking here at the replay, that's just another example of what I'm talking about. UNH is doing all the right things. They're making the right passes. They're having the great, the great creativity on the offensive side of the net, but still unable to convert now with 10 seconds left on the power play as BU's able to clear and essentially wash away their penalty kill.
As Smith will leave it for herself, and we'll be back to even strength here.
As we little break in action, look at the Hockey East standings. When you look at these top two teams, Northeastern and Boston College, 42 points and 38 points respectively. Looks like they're going to claim the two top spots, but 8 teams do make the playoffs. UNH guaranteed a playoff berth. But now the question is, where are they going to end up? Vermont right now in the 8th seed with 19 points. UConn and UNH tied with 22 points. So not only is this a big game, playing against a good team right before the playoffs, but seeding is really going to matter. And with just one game left, Wildcats take on Boston College next weekend. Not a whole lot of room to get yourself into a higher seed. Looks like even if the Wildcats do win those both games, they won't get that jump up to the 5 seed, but holding the 6th seed is going to be important, and that's what they should be thinking about for the next half of this game.
Dunbar brings it into the Terrier zone. Dunbar on the right hash mark. She tries to throw it in net, but that would be deflected. And a close call there as number 7, Jessie Comper, had a lane for a breakaway, but the pass was just out in front of her, and it would go down for an icing.
And it was going back to the whole standings. Right now, if the playoffs started today, it would be a 3-game series between BU and UNH. So if you're, a coach on this Wildcat or even Boston University roster, you kind of have to, think of this game as a scouting report for this potential playoff matchup.
Howard. A little spin move there and brings it back down to Rin. Rin to Howard. Howard on net. Saved by Schroeder. A great little 1-2 punch there with Tori Howard and Paige Rin. Howard dumped it off down to Rin down low, and Rin found Howard breaking towards the net. Was able to get a shot on net, but Schroeder was there.
We were just talking about, these UNH defensemen getting a little more aggressive, and we saw there Tori Howard going behind the net, but Taylor Wenskowski doing exactly what you're supposed to do as a forward when you see your defenseman go low, and she was able to cover the point, and she does it again here. She's the lone forward back on D.
Howard tosses over to Wenskowski. Wenskowski's unable to get it out of the zone. Correa up to Allen. No battle up by the point. Kept in by Donnelly. Over to Howard. Howard behind her net. Quick stop and another move. Howard brings it up the left side. Howard to Martin. Martin will get it deep, and she'll continue the forecheck. Allen brings up the left side, and we're going to get a penalty. Interference called on Martin. Excuse me, not Martin. This will be on number 9, Abby Cook, the defenseman. Here in the replay there, Martin trying to get across the crease there, and Cook just kind of clotheslines her. Great call there by the ref. And the UNH Wildcats will have another opportunity here on the power play.
So that's a smart play, as in hockey you're taught to, somewhat interfere with a forechecker like that, but you're never supposed to actually take the body, and that's why the Wildcats back on the power play.
Rickwood will keep it in on the left point. Rickwood, Turner, and Rickwood throws it away. UNH will go back down to their own zone and set up again. One thing I've noticed so far in this power play, Rogers, is that UNH Wildcats aren't doing a great job of breaking out and able to get into the zone and set up their power play unit. Turner shot on net. We'll get a whistle here on the left side.
Yeah, they're taking a different approach. It's, sometimes they have one skater taking from their own end all the way in just to establish that possession, or they do something like we just saw where they've been working the dump and chase mentality all day long. And when you do that on a power play, it's easier to forecheck because you do have that extra man opportunity. So it's more of a 2-on-1 in the corners is what you'd want to go for there.
Peltier was set up in the umbrella. Peltier keeps it in. Great play as Wisconsin goes to the right dot. Wisconsin over to Howard. Howard will battle on the boards. Howard keeps possession of it. Up to Rin. Rin comes up, throws it to Peltier. Peltier over to Wisconsin. Back to Peltier. Peltier at the top. Over to Howard. Howard, Rin, stop. Howard again. And Schroeder able to hold off the attack once again as we'll get a breakaway here. Shot saved by Smith, and we'll get a whistle. And it looks like we'll get another penalty here. And it's going to go on Martin. Lauren Martin on the back check.
It's going to be a hooking call. Another thing in hockey, when you do have a clear breakaway like that, coaches will tell you to take that penalty, not allow the opponent to get a clear breakaway, and that's exactly what Wenskowski did, just using hooking. Luckily, that puck wasn't slammed in behind Kira Smith because of all that physical contact, but nonetheless, we have 4-on-4 hockey, and now with a bigger ice service here at the Whittemore Center, 4-on-4, a lot of opportunities for the better skaters on either side to take advantage, and the best skater for UNH, unfortunately, is Wenskowski, and she's on the bench, or in the penalty box, excuse me. So that's at a disadvantage for this Wildcat team.
UNH brings it into the Terrier zones as we'll get a lot of ice to work with here as it's 4-on-4. Correa brings it behind her own net. She'll bring it up the right side. She dumps it off to Tarnowski. Tarnowski chips it off the board, stolen by Turner. Turner to Rowe. Rowe will bring it up from her own zone, crosses the blue line and brings it up to mid-ice. Rowe into Terrier territory, and she'll bring it around the ice. Throws it in front, up to Rickwood. Rickwood slap shot, and that is blocked. And here comes another breakaway by Sammy Davis and a 2-on-1. And a great play there by Winsky.
I don't know if that was offsides. We have a very good angle at it right here from the broadcast booth. As
great block by Sammy Davis here. She'll create the opportunity for a 2-on-1 as Abby Cook was coming out of the box. But a great play there by the UNH defenseman to break it up.
Fortunate there was nothing too risky about that stage of events for this Wildcat defensive unit.
Boston University working the cycle. Donnelly comes up the dot. She circles the mid-ice. Leaves it off for Davis. Davis over to Cook. Cook battling and able to keep it in. The referee's letting them play right now, Sam. Donnelly brings it down low, crosses it over. Great play by Scammell. BU will take it into their power play setup. Davis whiffs on that. She'll circle back around. Up to Cook at the point. Shot on net. Up to Cook at the circle. Shot on net. Saved by Smith. Nara Elliott battles in the corner with Winskowski. Winskowski and Warren battling down low. Winskowski will pick it up behind her own net. She'll throw that off the boards. Kept in by Stanley. And it's thrown down to Tarnowski. Tarnowski leaves it off for Correa. Picked up by Wuthridge. Winskowski will bring it in the corner again, and she'll pin it up against the boards. Winskowski battles it up, and she brings it up the right side. A she'll break out, throws it to the middle, but that is deflected. In comes Stanley. UNH seems to be really tired at the moment, Sam, as they're caught in their own zone.
Yeah, haven't been able to break this puck out for the last 2 minutes. Terriers realize that they're trying to get some sort of opportunity. As now Nicole Dunbar, does she have the wheels?
Out comes Schroeder, and a great heads-up play there by the goaltender. She throws it up to Wuthridge. Wuthridge shot on net, saved by Smith. Halloran brings it up the right side. She moves it up to Peltier. Peltier with tons of speed, flying up the wing. Peltier throws it in deep. Dunbar with a shot on net there. Back to Peltier in front. Halloran keeps it in, throws it back down. Up comes Calderon.
Good stand up there by Tori Halloran, taking the body.
De Souza wheels and deals. Cycles it back down low to Schuler. Schuler spins off. Schuler over to Elia. Excuse me. That is number 22, Allen, Rachel Allen. We'll get another whistle here. And it's going to be number 15, Tori Halloran. We'll head over to the penalty box.
That's not what you need to do if you are a Wildcat. Down 2-0, 2:34 left here in the second period, where a goal scored by UNH just can cause so much momentum. You know, the old saying is, 2-goal lead is the hardest to defend, just because you do get that first goal, the momentum comes on your side, and then if you tie up the game, you know, the momentum's even greater for taking that go-ahead goal. But now the Wildcats going to end this period for the most part on the penalty kill. So right now their focus isn't to get that first goal before going into the locker room. it's preventing the Terriers from really opening this game up by 3.
Elia, that's going to be stolen by Martin. Martin will clear it and ice it down. Cook, DDD, great pace, breakout pass to Davis. Davis brings it in. She'll get thrown off the puck. No call here. Here comes Carly Turner. Donnelly comes up the right side. She'll bring it in and set up the attack. Donnelly brings it in behind the UNH net. And she'll look to set it up. Donnelly to Cook. Cook back to Donnelly. Donnelly at the top of the circle. Shot on net. Blocked by Rowe. Here comes Comper. Comper brings it in. She'll look to make a move with it. Drops it off. Wuthridge up to Stanley. Shot. Just wide. Wuthridge up to Stanley again. Stanley throws it back down low as Emily Rickwood will clear it down. 1 minute remaining here in the second period. Stanley behind her own net. Stanley up to Sammy Davis. Wuthridge tries to throw it on net, receives it again, throws it on net again, just wide on the left side. Wenskowski, she'll flip it out of the zone. Up to Abby Chapman. Tarnowski, and we'll get a whistle here on offsides, I believe.
So 5-on-5, 31 seconds left in the period. Let's see what both teams want to do. If you're BU, I think it's just play as passive as you possibly can. And by that I mean win this faceoff, get the puck deep, try to kill some time in the corners. Don't let UNH get a goal like they did last night in the third period, under 30 seconds left to tie it, because that would just cause some momentum going on the Wildcat side.
Boston University will throw into the corner to try to run out the rest of the second period. Thrown over to Correa. Correa on the left side. She'll pick her head up. And that will do it here in the second period as we have a little scuffle in front of the UNH bench with some pushing and shoving between McManus and Connor Galloway. Correa still chirping at the bench as the referees will skate them off to their respective locker rooms. Well, that will do it for 2 periods here at the Whittemore Center. At the end of 2, it's Boston University 2, the New Hampshire Wildcats nothing. We'll be back to bring you the third period in just a moment.
Purposeful. It's inspiring. It's the simple idea that good is more than something you are. It's something you do. Eastern Bank is here, giving 10% of our net income to local charities. Here to do good, to do right, to do more, to help all of us do better. So join us for good.
UNH hockey is part of the fabric of the university. This program has a long, storied, and rich tradition. There's a lot that goes into a UNH hockey game.
You're going to kind of have to time it probably right as Max picks up.
There's a lot of behind-the-scenes things that go on.
Any questions?
Before the game, my goal is for the guys to feel relaxed, to feel that all their preparation's been done.
A lot of the guys get here pretty early, probably 2.5, 3 hours early before a game. A lot of guys tape their sticks, listen to music, just kind of get in their own zone. Early on in the night, I like to listen to some country music, just kind of keep it pretty mellow and relaxed. And then as kind of the time goes through, you know, you listen to some faster paced songs.
Everyone's got a job to do.
And then we have a team meeting an hour and a half before the game. We kind of discuss our plan and the stuff we've been working on from the practice and what we're going to implement in the game.
Hey, you gotta get everything right now.
After that team meeting, we go up for warm-up, and you know, we get loose.
And then a lot of the guys like to get together and play a game of two-touch, soccer-type game. I'd say it's always good to be a little loose before games. I tend to be a little looser.
Once everyone gets in the locker room about an hour before the game to start getting dressed, it gets pretty serious, and it's just the music, kind of everyone's to themselves, doing their own little things. Everyone's a little different.
Ref 1 is always swinging with speed. You know, I talk to the assistants, what are some key points to being successful tonight or in this period? But we try to build those key points up throughout the course of the week leading into the game and then reinforce those before we hit the ice. Angus, Patrick, Anthony, Benton, what were you in the net? Let's go.
Down in the tunnel before the game, just getting fired up, ready to go. A lot of guys have like different handshakes.
I think I got a handshake with pretty much every guy on the team. There's something that you do or something that you say before you go on, and that's what makes being a teammate so great. It's just a special bond.
Having the ability to coach here is truly a dream come true for me because I have such a great sense of the history and I understand the traditions and the values of this program. And for me, as a coach, that's one of the greatest traditions. It's passing on the history of our program to our current players. So we come in between periods, we'll look at video. Now that video, it may differ depending on what's happened in the period. Maybe it was a goal you gave up, maybe you need to change the way you're trying to break the puck out or forecheck. That's always evolving.
Doesn't matter if it's in the first 2 minutes or the last 2 minutes.
Usually coach will come in and talk and try and fix some things that we need to work on, go over some things that we've been doing well throughout the game, and then guys will just kind of get refocused and ready to go for the next period. Love playing at the Whittemore Center. Definitely cool to see all the kids out there that support us.
I remember being that kid looking up to older players and, you know, wishing one day I'd be in that spot and you know, thankfully and luckily I had that opportunity to do that.
Fans in general are just great out here. Throwing the fish on the ice after the first goal is definitely one of the major things a lot of fans look for when we score.
Fish is definitely a very cool part of the game. I don't know many schools that do things like that. And having that come out is always it's always exciting, and you definitely want to be the guy who tries to get that fish out.
Hockey East is the premier conference in college hockey, and on any given night, anyone can beat anybody.
Who's in front? And a score from Marcus Bella.
And our players understand that. There are no easy nights in our league. At the end of the day, the best part of playing hockey at UNH is the opportunity to play in front of our fans and our students.
For a cycle across the middle and a shot and a score.
And I think that's what really separates our program from all the rest.
Benton Mass with the game winner in overtime.
1, 2, 3, play! Your hands are blood, your hands are bread. And when we die, we dance your dead. So it's right hands, right the greatest thing they say.
is he?
Sometimes you're ready.
Joe, ready?
Ready.
Sometimes you're not.
Ready.
Sometimes you can't wait for that moment. And sometimes it sneaks up on you. But whenever you're ready, or ready as you'll ever be, we're ready, as we always are. From the big moments to the small ones, and everything in between. We'll handle the financials. Service Credit Union. Ready to serve.
Liftoff of the Atlas V with MMS.
Grocery shopping, taking the kids to soccer, and getting Buddy to the vet on time. You have so many things to think about, and for a long time, you've been thinking about switching to natural gas. You know it is the most convenient and reliable fuel source. It's versatile, providing fuel for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. And no need to worry about monitoring fuel tanks. So why not make this the year you stop thinking about the benefits of natural gas and start living with them? Call Unitil today at 888-4UNITIL, online at unitil.com/switch.
Xfinity X5, a more powerful way to stay connected. It gives you super fast speeds for all your devices, enhanced coverage, and lets you control your network with the X5 app. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Xfinity X5. Simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity X5 gives you the speed, coverage, and control you need. Manage your Wi-Fi network from anywhere when you download the X5 app today.
On the board as BU leads 2-0 with 20 minutes to play here in the second half of a home and home against the University of New Hampshire. Sam Rogers, Tim Knightley on the call. And what's the most at stake is not only a win late in the regular season before the playoffs, but for the Wildcats trying to hold that 6th seed in the Hockey East. Top 8 teams make the playoffs. Wildcats and Huskies tie with 22 points. Vermont right there with 19. And a win today could propel the Wildcats to hold that 6th seed, which will have them actually face the Terriers in the first round of the Hockey East playoffs. But to do that, they're going to have to erase a 2-goal deficit. Here as now Devin Taylor loses the puck by the blue line, which allows the Terriers, who now move back from right to left. Good save there by Kira Smith, making her 16th save of the afternoon. And Sam, 20 minutes left, down 2 goals. What does the Wildcats need to do to not only tie it, but to come out of here with a win?
I think they need to get back to what they were doing at the start of the first period. I think in the first period they were doing a great job of breaking out of their own zone, not doing too much, getting pucks deep, and then forechecking from there. I remember, the first 10 minutes of that first period, the puck was in the Terrier zone for most of the time. As we'll get a penalty here and a UNH player down. But UNH needs to get a ton of shots on net here, and that's going to start here with another power play. This, I believe, is going to be their 3rd or 4th of the game. They've been unable to capitalize so far. If they can put a quick one in here to start the 3rd, they'll be right back in this game. And this isn't an impossible feat, Sam. We saw yesterday they were down 3, came back, and were able to escape that game with a tie. So let's see what kind of magic the Wildcats have for us here on this Sunday matinee game.
Courtney Correa gets the 2 minutes, as Wenskowski was the Wildcat who drew that contact. But like Tim said, 3rd power play opportunity for the Wildcats as Pelletier fires a shot on net, which goes just wide. Martin backhands it back up to the top of the point. The Wildcats form into that umbrella formation. Wenskowski uses a foot to try to get a pass over to Paige Wren, but that is unable to find her stick. Halloran moves in from the defensive spot, fires a shot that goes wide. She collects her rebound, dumps it off to Wenskowski on the far glass. Pelletier over to Wenskowski. Wenskowski fires a slap shot from the slot. That's deflected, but she's able to collect the puck. And with a minute 20 left, the Wildcats trying to get their first shot on their 3rd power play. Howard fires it back door, unable to hold the puck as it comes back up to Wenskowski on the dot. Puck still bounces. Paige Wren can't get a backhand on net as that is smothered by Schroeder.
And that's what you want to see from the Wildcats on the power play. You want to see them get into their zone, set up their power play attack, make passes, and find the best shot possible. I think the other 2 power plays, they weren't able to get the puck in the zone, and they weren't able to set up in their attack, and they were shooting from the outside. But you want to make those cross-ice passes and try to find those shooting lanes, and so far they've done a great job on this power play.
Wildcats send out their 2nd unit as the Terriers. Sammy Davis elects to go back to kill a couple more seconds. She gets it up to Comfer. Comfer does the same as Davis, and they're just going to kill time. Get it back in their own end with under 50 seconds left on the power play. Wildcats just looking to get some more possession. Kira Smith leaves the puck behind the 35 Hockey East anniversary logo. Men's Hockey East Conference celebrating their 35th year of existence this season. BU able to send it deep, and now with just under 20 seconds left on the power play, Wildcats will look to just get an offensive possession and maybe one more opportunity. Fancy spin move there by Emily Rickwood, who gets it up to Carly Turner, who drops it off to a non-existent player. She thought Devin Taylor was right on her hip. She was not. And now the Terriers are able to clear the puck and kill off their penalty. Good bounce save there by Smith. That's number 11 there for BU. Parker was in all alone. Good turnover there by Schuler, but the Wildcats able to go up the other way. Dunbar dumps it herself, showing off her great speed. One of the fastest skaters on the ice for both teams, number 4, Nicole Dunbar. Fires the puck out in the front, and no one is there to collect from either side.
And that's what you want there. You want to have your 3rd forward there high to kind of pick off those passes when they do come out in the middle of the ice like that, but no one was there for the Wildcats.
Abby Cook was the defenseman who broke it out, and there's the Sousa to fire in to get a full line change for the Terriers.
And a good step up there by number 13, Maddie Truax.
Martin stretching the ice, hanging out on that far blue line, able to one-touch it deep. And the Wenskowski, Martin, and Rin line, they've been getting close all game, but unable, like all Wildcat scores, to get one on the board. Good save there by Kira Smith on a unique scoring opportunity by Sammy Davis.
Kira Smith has kept the Wildcats in this game. I mean, the only 2 goals that the Terriers have scored came off on 2-on-1 opportunities. Other than that, Smith stayed strong, staying tall in net, and is making some really key saves.
2-on-1 opportunities, especially in hockey, so hard to defend as a goaltender. You don't know if your defenseman's going to take the puck or, you know, play that pass defense, and the Terriers were just able to execute perfectly. Cross-ice pass there. Beautiful find, but that shot was well wide. Right off the bench was Woolrich, and she sent that shot about 3 feet wide of the net. Great opportunity, but Kira Smith really locked down that near side. Now the Terriers finding a little bit momentum here. 5 minutes gone in the third period. They hold a 2-0 lead over the host Wildcats here on UNH's Senior Day, honoring 6 seniors who have given the 4 years for this university and this team, as Devin Taylor stays strong on the boards, able to eat that puck with her chest, and she's going to draw a penalty. And it's been the tale of the game. The Wildcats get their opportunities on the extra man advantage, but the Terriers capitalize on their few scoring chances, which is why we have a 2-goal lead for BU, and why this UNH power play unit 0 for 3 so far on the game.
And let's look for the Wildcats to build off their last power play opportunity. They did a great job setting up their attack. Not a ton of scoring opportunities. Let's see if they can do that again on this power play. As they get a shot on net off the face-off. Things getting a little chippy again down there, Sam.
Emotions are definitely getting high. There's Devin Taylor, slow to get back to the wing, as she was very much talking to Connor Galloway, who was the culprit of getting those emotions going at the end of the second period. Jenna Rowe, nice use of the glove to keep the puck in for the Wildcats. Body checking was the call on the penalty on Woolrich. Bad shift for Woolrich. Shot goes wide on a great scoring chance, then draws a penalty. But this BU penalty kill unit, if there's any special teams unit that has confidence in today's game, it's definitely them. Devin Taylor unable to get up as she was sent to the ice. Jenna Rowe didn't see it on the far side. So that's going to be an offsides call with 1:32 left on the power play. Both teams get a full line change.
UNH will bring out their big line of Wiskowski, Martin, and Rin. Hopefully that they can get a goal here. Still early in the third period, plenty of time to tie this game up.
Schuler and Martin on the draw. Wenskowski wins the loose puck battle. She holds by the goal line, gets it up to Pelletier. Pelletier fires across ice to Howren. Howren walks the line, drops it off to Pelletier.
Great to set up in that umbrella look, Sam.
Wenskowski from the slot couldn't get a clean look at it. Pelletier tried to sauce it over to Wenskowski. Good play there by Howren to support. Wildcats on a 5-on-4, no look pass by Paige Wren, but good save there by Pelletier to eliminate that puck from going all the way down the ice, and she's able to quick turnover. Lauren Martin from the slot. Goes off the shoulder of Schroeder. Howren fires it far, and that's unable to go. Wenskowski was calling for it at the top of the point. She has it now. Wenskowski gets it over to Howren by the circle. Up to Pelletier. Wenskowski has her stick in the air, looking for a one-timer. Howren fires it low on net. Paige Wren was right there, but a good save by Schroeder. Unable to catch a leg pad for a rebound. And they'll swap lines again.
And another great group of scoring opportunities there for the Wildcats. Sam, you saw Wenskowski banging her stick around, having it up in the air. She wanted that puck over on the left side, but they were unable to get it over there.
Jenna Rowe controls it, fires a backhand into the corner for Devin Taylor and Galloway to go battle. Galloway wins that one-on-one test as Jenna Rowe used another escape move. 2-3 for that matter. And she's gonna work it up to Turner, fires a cross ice for McManus. McManus thought about forcing it past the row. Instead, she tried to get it deep, but that allows the Terriers to send it all the way down to 200 feet. And that's gonna pretty much kill off the penalty. 5 seconds left. UNH to get one more uneven rush. But Woolrich exits the box with 12:35 left. We get an offsides call. And that's just 2 missed opportunities again to start this period for UNH. 2 chances on the power play. Only got a handful of shots. They do lead the shot total 29-20. But the only stat that matters in hockey is that one that reads 2-0 in favor of the team in red and white, the Boston University Terriers.
You know, in the game of hockey, when you are giving up these opportunities to have 4 power play opportunities and unable to score, it's going to be tough to win games.
A near holding there by Allen. The way that the refs have been calling this game, surprised that was a no call. Here's Allen again. Puck was in her skates. She's able to move it up to the captain, Tarnowski, who is also the first goal scorer of the game. Kira Smith, good blocker save. He gets the puck up to Grace Middleton. Now the Wildcats, if they want to hustle, they can get an uneven opportunity. Weird change there by Tarnowski. She was the 3rd back checker for the Terriers, but she elected to go off to the bench. I'm not sure if the Wildcats realized that they had a 3-on-2.
And that's on Dunbar there. She has to know that she has a 3-on-2 there. Odd man opportunity.
Would have loved to see a drop pass there.
Pass ahead of the net.
Top scoring line for the Wildcats. Out there as Tori Howard is able to hold the line. Wenskowski unable to keep that puck on her stick. Paige Wren comes over, but that puck is shipped right by her. Here's D'Souza with some speed on the near side.
Good back check by Martin.
She heads to the ice as Taylor Wenskowski is trying to get something going. 3 goals last night for Wenskowski, her first career hat trick. She was the only goal scorer for the Wildcats. Nice little stick work there by the Terriers. Paige Wren just fires a shot right in the chest of Scarpy. And may return the favor as Pelletier gets his shot right in the upper shoulder pad.
Carly Turner flying up the middle of the ice there. She's been flying around all game.
Here come the Terriers. Here's Sammy Davis.
Great move.
Gains the line, trying to find Galloway, who is crashing from the defensive point, going back door. Here come the Cats. Here's McManus, drops it off to Turner. Turner from the top of the circle, tries to fire a shot. That gets blocked down by Caldone. Loose puck in front. Dunbar tried to make a play on it. She lost her balance. The Wildcats, like we've been saying all day, the theme of the afternoon is so close. In terms of their scoring opportunities, having a plethora of extra man opportunities, but unable to find the back of the net. In an interesting move, we did talk about how both these teams are scoring over 2 goals a game. BU averaging 3.32 goals a game. Looking at the Hockey East scoring leaders, top 2 names you probably heard of quite a bit throughout today's broadcast. Jessie Comfer and Sammy Davis, 1 and 2 in the conference of scoring. Comfer, just as a sophomore, 17 goals, 37 assists for 54 points. She has an 8-point lead over her line mate, Sammy Davis, who has 23 goals, 23 assists, which if you're a math guy, adds up to 46 total points on her redshirt junior season.
And that's a very impressive line to be, going 23 and 23, just showing that you can do both in terms of offensively scoring goals, but also creating chances for your teammates as well.
Taylor Wenskowski, the only Wildcat on the top 20 list. The junior is sitting at 15 with 19 goals, 6 assists, good for 25 points. She leads the Wildcats in goals and points, as you could probably imagine, reading those numbers. And she has tied for 4th goals in the conference as Dunbar fires a shot that has a weird deflection, which just trickled in on Schroeder, but she's able to paddle that away to the corner. As here come the Terriers. Scammell uses her glove to drop it down. Now she has plenty of time to just flutter it in to the near side corner, right by the faces of the 6 seniors being recognized here on UNH Senior Day as we approach the 9-minute mark in the 3rd period. Wildcats still trail 2-0. They never held the lead last night, trailed 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. But Wenskowski was the equalizer in all 3 opportunities. Pelletier in a battle there with Allen. Wenskowski gets the puck poked as Mary Grace Kelly tried to fire it deep but unable to get a full stick on it. Tori Howard, nice hockey turn there, but that goes off the skate and gets redirected right into the corner. Grace Kelly working down low. Wildcats are able to maintain possession. Wenskowski tried to get a stick on the puck, go indirect to herself, but she was unable to. It's D'Souza now with some time. Fires a shot, good save by Smith. She lost sight of the puck for a brief moment. No Terriers in the neighborhood to slam home a rebounder.
It looked like Smith was being blocked. Her point of view is being blocked by the defenseman, Tori Howard, but she was still able to get that right shoulder on it and make the save.
So Tim, a conversation that we've had, focusing more on the men's side of things, but also it holds true for the women's side. For the Hockey East, a lot more recruits and a lot more talent going to schools in the Midwest like the Big Ten, and looking at the women's national rankings right now, Minnesota, Wisconsin, number 1 and 2. Goal! McGarrett McManus, right place, right time, backdoor one-timer. And don't go anywhere because we have a hockey game.
And that was a huge goal for the Wildcats. They needed that goal so badly. Been working for it all day. And McManus in the right place at the right time, sitting in front of the crease. As we see the replay here on our screens. Oh, what a pass and what a finish.
Devin Taylor, the no-look backhander.
Great pass. Not sure if Devin Taylor knew she was there or not, but at the end of the day, does it really matter? We still got a goal. We got a 2-1 hockey game here, Sam.
Regardless of how it went in, the fish was on the ice. Beautiful finish by McManus. And now with 7:40 left, we have a 1-goal hockey game between the Terriers and Wildcats.
And Sam, back to your point about the Hockey East Big Ten comparison and discussion. We've had this talk on our radio show quite a bit, and I just think that 10, 15 years ago, the Hockey East in both the men's and the women's was the most dominant conference in hockey. People compared it to the SEC of football, but I think some of these big time schools out in the Midwest have established great programs. They've gone out and gotten kids from the Midwest, but also now recruiting out here on the East Coast. And I think that's a big draw to go out to some of those big-time schools like Ohio State, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Big schools with a lot of good sports programs, both football, basketball. Just so good sports programs all the way around. And you can see now some of these hockey teams and the programs are really starting to take off.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Ohio State all in the top 10 in the women's national polls, all in the Big Ten. And you look at the men's side last year, the men's Frozen Four featured 3 out of 4 teams from the Big Ten Conference. So it's a battle of just 2 powerhouse conferences in the East Coast and the Midwest. Here as Jenna Rowe battling 2-on-1 in the corner. Battling with Tarnowski, no one assisting Rowe as Kira Smith robs number 5 in white, Courtney Correa. That would have really taken away the momentum that the Wildcats just earned. As we check on the replay, Correa was just hanging around in front of the net, no one home. Wildcats, a couple times as Julia Scammell loses her on the back door, a couple times this Wildcat defense has left the back door wide open for business, but the Terriers unable to convert.
And I think the Terriers have done a great job today at whether it's on the rush or just playing those mini games in the offensive zone at finding the 2-on-1 matchup, making that cross-ice pass to the open man, and then getting those scoring opportunities. They've done a great job at it all day, and that's been kind of their offensive game.
6:24, we do have a Wildcat goal. McGarrett McManus, the goal scorer from a beautiful no-look pass from Nicole Dunbar, has the Wildcats on the board. Here is McManus, fires a shot, looking for a rebound. Good defensive play there by BU to make sure nothing crazy happened with that chance. Scarpacey retreats to behind Schroeder, trying to fire it up to somebody. Looks like she was trying to go to Tarnowski, but here is Correa. Gets the puck poked away from Peltier. Howard beat to the puck there by Schuler. Schuler gets tangled up in the official's skates. Still maintains possession as she weaves through both circles, try to fire it backdoor. Good tip there in front of the net by the Terriers, but that is unable to find Kira Smith, the net, or anything close for that matter. Howard with a little bit of breathing room takes the puck behind her net. Lose it for a second, dangerous turnover.
And Howard's been a little reckless in front of her own net with that puck.
Wildcats unable to clear it. which gives BU an extra possession. Good play there by Pelletier. It looks like this Wildcat line is very tired.
Very dead in their own end right now, which would be very dangerous.
Schuler fires it through the skates of Dunbar. Wildcats desperately need to get this puck on. Would expect Pelletier to just ice it, just to get people off the ice.
BU doing a great job exchanging the offensive players for new, fresh legs as they do have the puck in the UNH zone and are able to keep the attack on.
Halloran desperately needs to go to the bench as the Wildcats are able to freshly get some new set of legs. Shot near side was Grace Middleton. Walkered away by Schroeder.
And Sam, as we approach 4 minutes here, keep an eye on Hillary Witt's bench just to see whether she's going to pull Smith, you know, with 2 minutes or if she wants to wait down to that 1 minute mark. Just keep your eye out for that.
Wildcats did score an extra man goal, 6-on-5 in their game against Merrimack last week right here at the Whittemore Center. Sure, Hillary Witt doesn't want it to come to that. As Grace Middleton found Abby Chapman, who was trying to get it over. Loose puck as Nicole Dunbar couldn't slam that one behind Schroeder. Rick Wood, good step up. She fires it low.
It's a good play by Rick Wood, holding that blue line and able to force the puck back down low.
Cook gets a yard sale, loses her stick, was complaining for a penalty as Paige Wren finds the puck on her stick. She gains the red line and the blue, but is picked off by Stanley, who gets the puck over to Tarnowski. Tarnowski, the junior captain from Ontario, got the goals started here on a beautiful 2-on-1 chance with Schuler after a power play in the second period. Lauren Martin, forward playing defense for the brief moment. Scammell gets it over to Jenna Rowe, who finds herself correctly back in her defensive positioning. Expect to see this Wenskowski line out for the majority of the 3 minutes as we get a stoppage in play, but 3:11 left. Kira Smith, we're going to be keeping our eyes on her on when Hillary Witt elects to get that extra attacker. In a 2-1 game between the Terriers and the Wildcats. This game holds a lot of importance for not who's going to get in the playoffs, but what seed are we going to have for both these teams. BU currently in 3rd place in the Hockey East with 32 points. UNH currently in 6th with 22.
And Sam, if you're the Wildcats, you got to be happy with finishing with the 6th seed. Most likely you're going to face this Boston University team who's the 3 seed, and you've shown this weekend that you can hang around with them. You had a great game last night coming back from down 3 and able to escape Boston, leaving Boston with a tie, excuse me. And then back today, I mean, you started off the game hot, you went down too early, but here in the 3rd, they battled back and they got a chance to tie this game up with 2 minutes left in the 3rd.
UNH Beast of the East student pep band trying to give their home team some momentum, playing the John Cena walkout music from WWE. If that doesn't get you fired up, then I don't know what does. Jenna Rowe gets it up to Grace Middleton, who couldn't get it deep. Good pinch there by Rowe. She has a couple slashes trying to fire a shot on net. That was right into the skates of Scarpacci, who lightly gets the puck deep and heads off for a line change. Both teams expect to have quick shifts for the rest of the way. Chapman gets it low.
UNH is going to get their top line on here of Carly Turner, Devin Taylor, and Megara McManus. And then if I had to take a guess, I think when they do pull Kira Smith, then they would bring on number 12, Taylor Wenskowski, for that extra man attack.
Well, we are under 2 minutes, and Kira Smith is coming to the bench. Hillary Witt waves her off, and Wenskowski is the extra attacker. 6-on-5 for the Wildcats. They trail 2-1 with 1:45 left. Wenskowski off his skate! Robbery! Corinne Schroeder with a robbery on Carly Turner.
Let's see the replay here. Sam, Carly Turner, that puck just magically appeared on her stick on the left side, and it looked like she had that entire net open. Oh.
Got down on a knee, trying to fire a one-timer.
Great awareness from Corinne Schroeder to get over to that right side of the net and close off the gap.
From our angle, it looked like a for sure one-time goal, but Schroeder just absolutely smothered it up. Beautiful save by the sophomore. Now with the empty net, 1:30 on the clock. Plenty of time for the Wildcats to get another scoring opportunity, and that last chance was their 41st shot of the night. 41 shots compared to 27, and Tim, you were talking about it.
Hillary Witt, excuse me, Sam. Hillary Witt looks like she's going to take her time out here, gather her team, and get a game plan for this final minute.
She does call the timeout, but you were talking about it. This is a potential first-round quarterfinal matchup. Obviously skated to a tie last night down in BU. A 2-1 game, but 41 shots compared to the Terriers' 27. You can, if this game ends right now with a 2-1 loss for the Wildcats, you can still go back into the locker room and say, okay, we did lose, but we had plenty of chances. Obviously, they can work on that power play a lot in practice, try to switch up something, because they did have their fair share of extra man opportunities. But Tim, right now, if you're Hillary Witt or head coach Brian DeRocher for BU, what are you telling your team in the huddle?
I think they're just telling the team to keep it simple, not to do too much. You're going to have that extra attacker. You're going to have plenty of room on the ice. I think what they want to do right now in this final minute is, bring the puck into the zone, get into their, power play setup, work the puck around, and work for the best shot. I don't think she wants her defenseman taking those point shots and having shots deflect. I think she wants to work the puck down low. She's got a ton of skill out there right now on the offensive side with, Carly Turner, Taylor Wenskowski, Devin Taylor. So they're going to want to work that puck down low, work it to the front of the net, and crash the net and try to get some shots on net.
Well, the band is in full force. Great crowd here on a Sunday afternoon matinee. As the Wildcats with 1:23 left looking to tie this game. Kira Smith will stay on the bench despite it being a neutral zone faceoff. Pelletier, Turner, Taylor, Wenskowski, and McManus, the 6 skaters for the Wildcats. Tori Howard, the other defenseman. Pelletier gets it over to Howard. Howard one touches it up to Wenskowski, fires it high off the glass.
And they need to get a forecheck going here.
BU can't get the puck out right away. 1 minute left. Wenskowski has the puck low. Try to fire it over to Devin Taylor. Wenskowski now collects it. Gets it over to Pelletier. Pass goes to her skates. Pelletier fires it low. D'Souza takes it. Can't get it all. Got to expect the Wildcats to take their time. 40 seconds left. Tori Howard now has it. Fires a slap shot. Deflected wide.
She needs to work that down to Taylor Wenskowski.
Wenskowski now backhand to try to find Carly Turner. Pass was a little bit behind her. D'Souza is able to get it out, but not deep enough.
And a great play by Pelletier to move it over to Tori Horan.
Great save there by Scarpacci, using the body to block a shot. Now we're in the final 15 seconds. Pelletier can't get a clean hold on it. We're under 10. Can the Wildcats get some sort of magic? Puck goes behind. Tori Howard is there to have to fire it in front. Off a deflection. That's going to go in the corner. One more last second chance. And the Wildcats can't get the tying goal despite 41 shots on net. Only one goal to show for it. You can tell by the way that these UNH players are skating off. They know that they had their opportunities to take it. But two 2-on-1 goals for the Terriers is the difference. As Boston University is going to travel back down to Agganis Arena with a hard-fought road win. And for all intents and purposes, these teams have a very likely chance of seeing each other in the first round of the playoffs. But 2-1 is our final score from a Sunday afternoon here at the Whittemore Center. For Tim Knightley and our entire production team, I am Sam Rogers. Thank you, and have a great end to your weekend, everybody.